Well, I cannot believe it. We have some more leaks about Zelda. Some very interesting stuff today. We even have more about Miyamoto in an interview, basically just kind of giving us a little glimpse in his mind about the future of where they're going with the Switch 2. And honestly, in my opinion, makes a lot of sense as to why we're getting so many remakes, such as, Ocarina of Time and others. And of course, we still are getting brand new games. Like, I'm not just saying we're getting only remakes nowadays, but a very interesting interview from Miyamoto and just more Nintendo news and updates in today's video. And I think today's video may be one of my favorites of the last couple weeks. So right before we do hop into it, I would greatly appreciate if you could subscribe to the channel to reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers. We're very close, so let's see if we get today's sub goal of 25 subscribers. Let's hop right into it, guys. So there was a leaker that created a mock-up of the Zelda 40th anniversary logo. So of course, Zelda 40th anniversary, it is this year. Nintendo have really not been saying much about it, but that's because they may be saving it for September. So we're going to talk all about that because we do have some information about maybe when we should be getting the next announcement. And of course, it will bring us into more Ocarina of Time news, potentially movie news, and then maybe other Zelda stuff, because I think there was a rumor of a Ganondorf game or something coming out in the near future-ish. So we have a video game leaker that stated that we're going to be getting a Switch 2 Pro controller to coincide with the release of the Ocarina of Time remake, which we did talk about in the last video. It's not a controller specifically themed of Ocarina of Time, but it's a controller just based on Zelda as a whole that will probably just be releasing alongside Ocarina of Time. I would kind of prefer it to be, specifically tied to Ocarina of Time, but I guess I understand. And it's still cool nonetheless. Anyway, he has recreated the logo that he has been seeing for the beloved franchise's 40th anniversary. And now this logo then has been verified by Nintendeals, who also has apparently been seeing this 40th anniversary logo. And what does that logo look like, you may ask? Apparently this is a rough mock-up of what it looks like. Of course, it's not going to look exactly like this. Just want to reiterate, this is a mock-up of the logo. And honestly, I don't know how I'm feeling about it. I mean, the 40 is kind of cool. And of course, they have to include the classic Link. And I am so hyped to be seeing more about the 40th anniversary and more about Ocarina of Time, more about Zelda. I'm so hyped for Ocarina of Time. Probably the game that I'm looking most forward to this year, in 2026. And then moving on to a post from Hugo Gaming. In one of the questions asked to Necrolipe under his tweet about the 40th anniversary, he replied saying that we should probably discover this logo in September before the Tokyo Game Show. So let's recall that the Tokyo Game Show takes place September 17th to September 21st. So if there is a Nintendo General Direct in September, which we have rumors of, I would low-key think it's before this, but nonetheless, I guess we should be seeing this logo before September 17th, and I kind of do think this would coincide with some sort of announcement, even if it's just a trailer with no General Direct or anything else like a live stream attached to it. I don't think they're just going to randomly post it now because, I mean, it's been the 40th anniversary. So Nintendo could have posted this, months and months ago. And that's why I am pretty confident in the fact that this could be a logo that's going to be shown with a trailer or a series of announcements, hopefully. Now think about it, Splatoon Raiders just came out, so now we're kind of getting closer to the point where Ocarina of Time is dropping to where they could focus more on that. It seems like Nintendo have really been strategic with their releases, so the reason why I'm bringing up Splatoon Raiders is because they're not going to have to worry about, overshadowing a game, being, Ocarina of Time overshadowing Splatoon Raiders. And now when we do get closer and closer to Ocarina of Time, and when they do the official next announcement, they're gonna go all in. I really do think they're gonna go all in with this Ocarina of Time remake. As far as the marketing goes, I think they're gonna really push it out to people, and it's probably gonna be a major success. Splatoon Raiders has been a success so far. The user score is pretty high. The overall meta score is very high. People are responding positively to Splatoon Raiders. I've still yet to play it. Hopefully soon, because I'm a big Splatoon fan. Let me know, have you guys picked up Splatoon Raiders? And how do you guys feel about it if you have played it? And now more about the Zelda news. We actually have the actor that is playing Link in the Zelda movie saying that he cannot speak about the film much itself, but he said he remembered when the game came out, Breath of the Wild, and it shows his age, but I remember being quite young at the time it came out, so I didn't have a Switch at the time, and so I was watching gamers play it and watching playthroughs essentially, and then upon being fortunate enough to play the role, such an iconic character, going back and realizing the 40 years of legacy and history and the varied tones and varied stories and renditions and vocal performances of this character as well. Yeah, I'm a big fan and just really excited because it was an awesome thing to shoot. New Zealand is a wonderful place, can't say too much more. So of course nothing too much about the movie, but it seems like the actor is pretty passionate about Zelda and actually appreciates the history and the legacy of Zelda. which of course is great since he did play Link or is playing Link. I'm excited for this movie. I really am curious to see how it's going to be played out, especially since it's live action. Like, that's pretty crazy. I've been wanting a Zelda movie. I think it's such an awesome franchise, and I'm so glad that it's being brought out into life with more theatrical movies, I guess I would say. So let me know, are you guys excited for the movie? Because I already know I'm going to be seated in a chair at the theater, and let's just hope it's good. I mean, Nintendo nowadays are very picky. They want good, high quality. So I'm assuming the Zelda movie is going to be just that and showing high quality. And also, very quick news, Fortune's Weave is coming out on the Switch 2 September 17th. So very soon, and it looks really cool. I'm definitely interested to see how people respond to this game. Let me know, you guys gonna be picking this one up? And now we do have an interview saying Miyamoto believes that people are no longer looking for just specs with gaming systems. And the magazine brought up how Nintendo have been focusing on new ways to play since the Wii and the DS. That's when the company really started to make specs less of a focus, because, you know, the Wii was underpowered, and if you guys have remembered the Wii, it was definitely way underpowered compared to the PS3 and Xbox 360 era. But that console, man, was just game changer. It sold so many units. Miyamoto saying that he was happy that the Switch lasted for 8 to 9 years and that customers are no longer looking for just specs. I think the ideal is that if you buy the software, you can play it on the device you have at home, which I'm hoping that is a little hint or tease as to Nintendo continuing to produce physical media throughout hopefully its entire history. Smartphones are everywhere, aren't they? I think that's one ideal, but Nintendo has always been providing gameplay that only we can create, including the interface, and compared to smartphones, it has the advantage of being able to respond quickly and having a high degree of freedom because it only requires one architecture and support for one piece of hardware. If you use a general purpose device, you have to support all versions, so amount of work increases. We want to make a living with minimal effort. To live without working, that's half a joke, of course, but we believe that reducing the amount of work is possible is important for making development more efficient, basically saying that they have created a good environment, which makes sense because of course in Nintendo first party games you can only play on Nintendo consoles, you know, aside from the very few mobile apps that they do have, basically meaning that because they're not putting a Mario game on every single console on PC, they don't have to really like worry about, you know, supporting it on those other consoles, literally just their consoles. And of course eventually they do end support, you know, such as the 3DS or Wii U, and eventually probably the Switch very far down the line. But you can't blame them. I mean, if you make a fantastic game on a console that is underpowered compared to the market, I mean, bro, all power to them. Nintendo have shown us time and time again how they are creative, how they come up with awesome unique ideas, and that they can just stand out. They stick out from the crowd, they stick out from the rest, and they're doing their own thing and they're doing it very well. So I think this is pretty good news for the future of Nintendo games. As we kind of mentioned in every single video, I feel like we're just constantly getting Nintendo news that's like really positive recently. So man, I'm just so interested to see how Nintendo continues to survive and just surpass their records time and time again in the future. Anyway, let me know what you're thinking about all this Zelda news. What are you guys hyped for the Switch 2? Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Someone